want to talk about a tip that Gemma, the moderator of this page, has shared before, and it's a post about how to manage your emotions during the coronavirus. And one of the tips at the end is really an important technique that I've used myself in order to go through hard situations. So I thought I'll make a video and talk about that a bit more. So my name is Sophia, or Celine as an artist name, because I'm also a dancer. And by being a mental health practitioner and suicide first aider, I thought that I could create this page and share the tips, not only the tips that I know, but the ones I've used for myself. So this one, for instance, is a very good technique I've used for myself, and it basically says that you should try and draw on past experiences and draw on those skills on how you recovered and how you dealt with the situation, and try and use the same skills. Now, this is a very simple and straightforward technique, but I want to talk a bit more into that. And by this I mean I want to tell you what this really means. For me, I used to think I've been through a lot, and a lot of things happened, and it was always one thing after the other. And when a situation came into my life, I used to think, why me again? Why am I going through this if I already went through so much before? So I was in this very victim mode for most of my life, I would say, and only in the past year, and I would say past few months, I've managed to get out of that mode and get into another one that is more helpful for my life. So I no longer get on the victim mode and think, why is this happening to me? I've already been through so much, and why things are constantly happening to me? But I started seeing things from a different perspective, and that perspective was, I've been through so much worse, so this situation is nothing. I can handle this because I've been through this and this and that, and I know this won't last forever, and I know this is just a phase, and I won't let this phase make me feel so bad to the point that I no longer want to live, to the point where I get really demotivated and depressed, and I stop taking action. And I think taking action is the most important thing that you can do ever. So I went from, I've dealt with situations like this before, so I know how to deal with this, and I'm not scared of this because I've seen this monster before, and I've seen right now. I was terrified at the beginning of all of this, but then again I apply that perspective, and I'm not really that scared anymore because I've had pneumonia before, I've been sick before, and I've recovered. So instead of going from I had pneumonia before, so I'm at risk and I don't want to go through that again, I went from, you know what, I've done this before, I've been there, so, and I recovered. So what's to tell me that I'm not going to recover now? And I'm also not that fearful of other situations because I've been in situations where I didn't have food or home before. So if that happens again, hopefully not, but if that happens again, I'm more than ready to deal with it. I've been in situations where I had absolutely nothing and nothing to hold on to, and I still managed to grow out of that. So it's not more I'm scared to be back in that situation, it's more like if that situation comes, I'm more than ready for it. So it's about shifting your perspective, and you'll see how once you do that, you'll take action much more easily. You start taking action, you get this rush of energy because you feel empowered and you feel like you can handle whatever is going to happen in the future. And this gives some kind of internal peace and strength. And yeah, that's basically it that I wanted to share with you. And a good example I can give without being too much dramatic is when I was doing my master's and I had 3 months to complete my my research study. At the time I felt very pressured, and I was like, again, I'm in this pressure and I need to do everything in a rush. However, for the time that my third year of university was much worse than that, where I had to do 5 essays, 2 presentations, my research study, and a million other things at the same time. And my perspective went from, not from like I've got a lot to do, but it was from, I have a lot to do, I need to do this study. But before I had to do this study, plus another million things, and I still managed to do it, so this is nothing. And that motivated me so much that I was no longer feeling pressured, I was no longer feeling stressed, I was just motivated and I was so ready for it. And I've managed to nail my study, and I had a first in my study because I was so motivated and energetic. And I know that wouldn't have happened if I kept on that feeling pressure and feeling that I could handle it. Of course I can handle it, I've done it before, and this is what you have to think, that of course you can handle the situation. You've been through many others that have been worse, and you've managed to get out of it, okay? So what's to say you're not going to get out of this situation, okay? And sometimes all you need is a bit of perspective shifting, a bit of attention shifting, and once you get that, you'll see things changing and shifting. And all you had to do was to change what's here, and what's here is very, very powerful. Your mind and your thoughts are very, very powerful, and do not doubt them. So I hope you enjoy being in the page, and do share your advice with us so we can post. And this is more a community thing, this is not me or Gemma telling people what to do. It's more what techniques do we use, each of us individually, that we would like to share with others, so we can get through this in a much easier way. So thank you for being here and for liking the page. I do hope that you take good things from here, because this page is only for good and it's an action-based page. So it's about taking action to strengthen our mental health, our minds, because our minds also influence how we fight diseases. So it's very, very, very important. Thank you, take care, stay safe.